Hello and thank you for watching. You will never be broke again. Let me repeat that. You will never be broke again. What do I mean? Well, as you could probably tell by the title of this video, what I do is buy and sell on Amazon. And as you can see from the background behind me, I was at TJ-Maxx doing what's called retail arbitrage. That's where you go out to a retail store, you buy things at retail price that you can turn right around and sell at retail on Amazon. And I'm going to teach you how to do that. It's really not hard. And once you learn those techniques, you can incorporate them into your business strategy in order to make money. And it's going to change your life. Before we even get started, you need to be clear on why you would want to do that in the first place. Because if you don't have your why together, there's no amount of teaching or anything else that's going to help you, because you won't be consistent enough. And it is the consistency that brings about success. Now, I can't tell you the reasons why you would want to do something. I can't tell you why you would want to sell on Amazon. That's your job, but I can help you out. So let me give you a tip that probably applies to you the same way it applies to me. One good reason that you should be selling on Amazon is to make money. Why? Because money is going to do three things for you. Number one, it's going to give you control over your life. Number two, it's going to give you options. And number three, it's going to allow you to live a life of contribution. Now, we've all heard the saying, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man a fish and he'll feed himself for the rest of his life. And that's all fine and good, but we need to delve a little bit deeper, because it's not enough to give a man a fish, but equally it's not enough to teach a man how to fish. Let me explain. Here's an example. Do you remember when you went to school? I'm talking grammar school, middle school, high school. You were there being taught the skills, many of them that would allow you to become a productive citizen in society. Essentially, you were being taught to fish. And while you were being taught to fish, do you ever remember taking a break, going into the lunchroom where you were given a fish for the day? You see, not only did you need to be taught to fish, but in order to do it effectively, you had to be given a fish for a day during the period where you were learning. Without the two, it's not enough. You see, there are a lot of teachers out there that are willing to teach you how to fish, but how many will give you the fish for the day? You need them both. And so that's what I'm going to give you right here, right now. But there's something you have to do. Remember, go back to your school days. You were taught to fish and you were given the fish for the day, but you had to do something. You couldn't just show up at lunchtime, walk into the cafeteria and say, give me my fish for the day. Oh no, you had to do something. You see, the fish for the day was reserved for the person who was learning to fish for himself. And the same thing holds true here. So with that principle in mind, what you want to do is watch this video all the way to the end. That way, by the end of it, you will have some techniques, some principles, and some tips teaching you how to fish. And then I'm also going to give you that fish for the day. Why? Because I want you to be successful. In fact, I'll continue to give you a fish for the day while I continue to teach you how to fish. So what you want to do in order to gain all of that, it's simple. Subscribe to the channel right now so that you get the education, and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any of the value when we come out with it. Also, you want to watch the video all the way to the end, where I will give you the fish for the day. All right, class starts right now. This is what to sell on Amazon. I'm Horace. Let's go. Oh, yes. Hey, what's going on, guys? Horace here. As you can see, I'm out doing a little bit of sourcing. Actually, what I was really doing was just making a quick run to Walmart, but while I was here, went right over to TJ-Maxx just for a quick second. Now, what you'll find is, as you do this for a while, you'll be able to say, hey, you know what? Let me run into TJ-Maxx. Let me run into Staples or whatever, because you'll kind of have a system. See, when you do this long enough, you start to figure out where you fit in. There are literally millions and millions of products that you could be selling, and you can't sell them all. So what do you sell? Well, that will be revealed to you over time. You'll start out somewhere and you'll have an idea, but eventually you'll figure out what works for you. And then you can go into a store and literally be in and out like a burglar. 10, 20 minutes, boom. So you can see in my cart, I got a couple of hair type products, curl and iron deals, and the rest of this is all pretty much Nerf dog toys. And you know, it's kind of funny because when you think Nerf and getting into Nerf, getting approved for Nerf, whatever, a lot of times you're thinking about the toys, and the toys are great if you can get them at the right price so that you get your margins. But you know, Nerf makes dog toys, and oh my God, Americans love their dogs. Generally speaking, I would venture to say, in a lot of cases, they love dogs more than they love humans. But so we're gonna go ahead and get back to the crib, look at everything, and see what we got later. Okay, guys, so let's take a quick look at our TJ-Maxx haul. As you can see, this is the entire layout here. It's mostly Nerf products, and don't get caught up in that, because if you're, you know, Nerf is a gated brand. So if you're new, you probably won't be approved in Nerf. But let me tell you, don't get caught up in the, oh, I'm not approved for this, oh, I'm gated in that. Take the principles, the way that you evaluate products and list them at a price where you can make a profit. Learn how to think, learn how I think, so that you can apply it to what you're doing. Okay, don't get caught up in the brands. If you're gated in a brand, so what? Take the same principles, move on, and find something that you can sell. And let me tell you a little something about Nerf that I learned. Nerf isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Okay, there's a lot of people getting, you know, ungated or whatever, and the margins are slim. Amazon loves selling Nerf products themselves, so you're always going to be competing against them. Now, so then you might be asking, okay, Horace, so why is there a whole table full of Nerf? In my experience, dog toys are a bit better. They move really quick because, like I said earlier, Americans love their pets. And there's a relationship between man and dog that's just uncanny. It's unexplainable. And you already know that. But for that reason, I have found that when it comes to dog toys, it can be worthwhile getting into it. Nerf toys, I'm pretty much done with them. Unless you can get them rock bottom, it ain't even worth it. But don't worry about that. But do concentrate on this. Here, you noticed I got a couple of hair care products for women. Those you could always find at Target, at TJ-Maxx, I meant to say. And you can't, for the most part, I mean, I've never had a hair product that I didn't sell. You know, sometimes you might have to wait a little bit, but trust and believe, women are dealing with that head. And another thing I want to say about the Nerf dog toys. Okay, you have to understand, if you're going to do this as a business, things aren't going to always sell as quick as you would like. You're going to have to sit on them for a while. Okay, that's just part of the business. And I can tell you that dog toys,
they will eventually sell. So those are products sometimes you invest in for more of the long haul per se. You're gonna have a mixture of items in terms of how quick they're moving. All your products aren't gonna move uh, at lightning speed, unfortunately. But we're gonna go through. We're gonna look at the numbers. We're gonna sit down at the controls, and we're gonna go over how I did. And let me tell you, guys, I don't always do perfect. This isn't a perfect science, okay? This is business. Study business. Understand that when you go into a retail store, are you aware that on average, 20% of the products that are in there are making 80% of the sales, okay? So, but you got to have a store full of items to have a store, right? And essentially, that's what you have when you sell on Amazon. As you grow the business, in a sense, you have a store. On the other side, you really don't, but you see my point. Understand the analogy so that you can get your thinking right. You see what I'm saying? This is all about thinking. Don't get into this thinking that everything's got to be perfect. Oh, I'm not gated in this. Oh, this, that. Don't start looking for reasons that this won't work. Because you know what? You'll find a reason. I'm here to show you how it works and how it's working for me. So let's move on to the controls and see how we did. Hey, what's going on, guys? We're going to get into this video. Just a quick note. I haven't been putting out as many videos as I usually do. I notice when I'm doing a lot of yapping, the numbers aren't going up. In fact, when I'm yapping more, the numbers stay here or they start going like this. So I've had to make an adjustment. I work just like most of you guys, and you know what that's like. There's just not enough time, and it can be a challenge to get the videos out. I am extremely busy. I do believe that we all should be extremely busy. Busy to the point where you actually have to consciously make an effort to slow down because life is short. If there's things you want to accomplish in life, you're going to have to get busy. So with that being said, let's get started. Now, the first product we're going to look at is this. What is this? It's a hair straightener. The color is blush. Make sure you keep up with your variations. The color makes a difference. And that can make a difference in how well it's selling, whatever. So if we come down to the sales rank is going to be in the product details. And you see that sales rank right there of 10,270 right there. I can tell you that is amazing. Generally, and you're going to get better at this as you go along if you don't already know, but anything under 100,000 is generally a solid deal. You don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to sell. It's just a matter of time. When you get around 50,000, you really have a winner. Sales rank of this low, you're pretty much knocking it out of the park. If you still want yet another way to be able to tell, you can go over to junglescout.com, use their resources, and you can see I already have it up. You just put the rank in, where you're at. In my case, it would be the United States, and then under beauty and personal care, you calculate and look at how many, the estimated number of sales per month. So you're killing it with that. And the next thing I like to do is look at the competition. So that gives me an idea of where to get in at. So you got a guy who's selling it for $40.99, but he's back ordered. That's something you want to consider. He's back ordered until the 12th. So, just to know. Then you got another guy for $40.21. Now I'm going to get in at $40.25. I said 20.21. I meant 25. Because I can see this product really sells. I can adjust it if I want, but if I use the Amazon revenue calculator, if you don't know what that is, watch some of my other videos or in the course. You just put in right here the price you're going to list it at It's going to cost me about 50 cents to get it into the warehouse, and that's because of the volume that I do. And with tax, I paid $26.49, so I'm going to make $3.25. That's not big, but that is okay. And we'll get into that a little later, but we'll move on to the next product. And that is the ceramic straightening and styling brush. Same thing. I like to look at the rank because the rank gives me an idea. That's very good rank. Then I'm looking at the keeper chart. Now you can see this is just another tool to help you make an evaluation, help you make a decision. But in the tan areas, that's where Amazon had the product. And you can see they were out of stock here. Then they had it in stock for a long time, and they're currently out of stock. I don't mind jumping in with Amazon. That doesn't bother me, except for cases where Amazon has really got a rock bottom price. They have thousands of units, and then it's not worth it. But even when they had it, you can see using the chart, they kept it around $59.99. They have had it as much as almost $80. But that way, you know, even if Amazon does come back into stock, sometimes that happens. By the time you get your inventory in, now they have it. That's about where they're going to be. So if I get in where they are, $59.99, my cost to get it into the warehouse. And just a side note on that, I'm shipping it to the warehouse because I do what's called FBA, where you let Amazon handle the shipping and the customer service and all of that. That saves me my time. I'd make $13.33. That's solid. Okay. So then we move on. I'm not going to bore you. Usually I would go through the entire haul. You saw how much I brought in from TJ-Maxx. I'm not going to bore you with that. Usually that's a 30-minute video. We're just going to do a few items, and then because the idea is not to show you the entire haul. The idea is to show you my way of thinking, and you can incorporate some of my things into what you're doing. It's not about following me step for step. It's not about having everything perfect. It's about learning how to evaluate whether or not you should move on a deal. So this is a Nerf dog toy. And again, we look at the rank. It's very good in pet supplies. We look at, looks like Amazon hasn't had it. If they ever had it, they haven't had it in a long time. We'll look at our competition, and everybody's right around $14.61. Now I could wait with that rank. I could price it higher and wait if I wanted to. And sometimes that's going to be your strategy. But in this case, I just wanted to move. So I'll get in right there at $14.61. If I do that, here's the revenue calculator. With what I paid with tax, I'll make $3.40. Again, that's not one that you're knocking it out of the park, but that's okay. This is part of an entire haul. Sometimes you want to figure, what did you make on the haul? But it's all about continuing to get inventory into the warehouse. So here's a Nerf squeaky toy. Let's look at the rank on that. Rank is solid, 68,944. That's good. Looks like Amazon still has the product. A lot of times for me, the fact that Amazon has it means that it is a solid seller. That's not necessarily the case, but oftentimes it is. Trust me, Amazon eventually runs out. Even Amazon can't stock everything all the time, nor do they want to. So if we go over to the revenue calculator, if we jump in at $14.99, now think about that. Amazon is selling it. What did we say? They were at $8.50. So we're not going to sell this right away. On this one, I decided to sit on it for a little bit. And with what I paid with tax, once it sells, and it will sell, I'll make $5.88. Okay. So those are the deals that I want to show right now. Remember, all of the deals that I did, all the deals on that haul are not going to be profitable. That's business, guys. Remember, if you're like me, you work a job. That job that you depend on, that's giving you that check every week, they don't make money on everything. Sometimes they lose money. So don't get caught up in everything having to be perfect. Don't let that stop you. That's part of business. Now, here you are right now on Amazon. Okay. One of the biggest players in online, e-commerce and everything else. They don't make money on everything. Go out there and Google it. Just do a search. Amazon failures. They failed on more things that you didn't even know they tried. But yet, the last I heard, they were valued at over $2 trillion. So let that be an example to you. Don't let, you're going to make some mistakes. Everything isn't going to be perfect, but you continually get better. And most of your deals, or a good enough percent of your deals, are going to be good versus bad, that you make a profit. So be aware of that and continue to move forward. You don't need to be great in order to get started, but you do need to get started in order to be great. Now, how can I say this? Easy, because I'm not great. But if we take a look at my account, this is my account today, July the 8th, 2019. My 30 days. Okay, now this is a running total. So that goes from today and then 30 days back. This is what I've been able to do. Okay. And that's not a great number, but think about that for a second. Okay. I'm bringing in, after all of my expenses, anywhere between 15-20%, anywhere between there. So you can do the numbers and see how that's adding to what I already do. Now I want you to imagine you start incorporating the same strategies that I use, that I'm showing you. And remember, I'm transparent. This is what's called transparency. Okay. This isn't me talking about doing $100,000 a month. This isn't me in front of some big mansion with a Ferrari. This is something you can relate to. A guy with a regular job like you that didn't quit the job, not talking about getting out of the rat race. I'm talking about, how can I enhance my life? How can I use this to get out of debt? How can I use this to be able to help my family? How can I use this to improve my quality of life? How can I grow, become more, be more? Okay? Because it's not just about the money. The money has a lot to do with it. Probably the majority. But there are other things that you gain by having something that you're working towards, right? By having some type of passion in your life, something that you do. So that's what I want to share with you. This is what is possible. Okay. And one more thing, I want to thank the guys. I want to thank you guys for not only watching this video, but thank you so much for the wonderful comments. Thank you for interacting and sharing this video with others. Some of you have reached out to me on a personal level. Please know that I do read those and I really appreciate it. You know who you are if you reached out to me personally. If I haven't gotten back to you yet, I will. Thanks so much, guys.
Okay, that concludes this video. Thanks so much for watching. And as promised, here's your fish for the day. Go to onlineinternetprofits.com and sign up to receive your free leads. Right now, there are at least 6 free leads available that you can take advantage of right now and get started. Now, in closing, I have one final question for you. Do you expect to be successful? Think about that for a minute. I'm asking you a question. Do you expect to be successful? The answer to that question lies in the actions that you're taking right now. You see, you can always tell what a man expects out of life based on the actions that he's taking right now. Did you subscribe to the channel? Did you hit the bell notification? Are you going to sign up for the free leads? There's your answers right there. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate your time. This is what to sell on Amazon. I'm Horace, and I'm out.